Penske, Porsche Motorsport, and Felipe Nasr join elite company, winning the 24 Hours of Daytona 3 years in a row. We will talk about the latest addition to Team Penske's legacy, as well as Connor Zilisch's somewhat dampened second place in his top class debut in America's biggest sports car race. And Alex, was this year's Rolex 24 kind of lame to you?
Yeah.
I think I know why.
Nothing really happened, and also the broadcast was not great.
We will talk about NBC and Peacock and the broadcast of, again, America's biggest sports car race. We'll get into the quality of the racing. It's still one of my favorite events of the year. It's the opening to the racing season, and traditionally now it's the opening to the Gay Racing Podcast racing season. It's the first time we really talk about racing in the new year. So
it is
always a fun time.
For the record, I still love this race. Like, I still had a great time watching. I watched most of it, and just because I'm saying it's like mid, if you want to call it that, it wasn't like bad.
I think it was a perfectly acceptable race. And again, there was like a 6-hour like fog caution flag. They were just not, we didn't have that many cool racing moments. There were still some, like the GTD pros were having a great battle, but like GTP was dominated by Penske Porsche. We will talk about the charge by Cadillac at the end, but I guess we will actually start with Penske Porsche just winning the third Rolex 24 in a row. That is the headline. And you know, as Joseph Newgarden fans, Joseph Newgarden he started the streak. I'm just saying, he was one of those 4 drivers that started the streak.
Without him, this wouldn't be possible. Just saying, his little strolls and his shifts, he was so much slower than the other drivers. But you know what? They couldn't have done it without him.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, they let Felipe Nasr that year get a little bit more beauty sleep to really lock in, especially like, you know, they had tighter battles those previous years. And Felipe Nasr being the only driver who has been in this car all 3 years to win these 3 races in a row. He is like, he feels like almost this generation's Scott Pruitt in terms of he is the best driver in terms of, you know, top class IMSA racing prototypes. He is a household name if you've been watching this race the last few years. I mean, I'm getting big deja vu.
It's really cool that Felipe Nasr has managed to win this 3 times in a row as the closing driver each time, and also with all different sets of drivers every single year. Apparently,
he has a movie out. It's called To Die For or something. I didn't know he had a movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like a documentary or something. I'll have to check it out. It seems kind of like weird because I'm like, IMSA's not that big, man. But Felipe Nasr is a pretty big deal in IMSA. And talking about his teammates, something interesting that Penske Porsche, like, they're always changing their driver lineups just to, I think it's to give both cars a better shot. Because like last year he was fighting Matt Campbell for the win, and Matt Campbell was his teammate the previous year, I believe, unless I got names mixed up. So I think Penske Porsches, they're always trying to balance both the 6 and the 7. Every time Lee Diffie said that, by the way, the 6-7, I'm like
6-7,
and it's so funny because Penske's been running those 2 numbers forever.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but the 6 and the 7, like, I think they try to balance them, and so they try to put the best drivers, like, you know, 1 in each car. But Nasr, he had like 2 teammates. You know, Julian Landauer, he has prototype experience. Even with Porsche Penske, just mostly in WEC. I believe he drove the Mustang Sampling Proton customer Porsche last year. And then Lauren Heinrich, who is most known for driving Rexy, the GT3, or the GTD Pro car. So these 2, not as star-studded teammates, right? Not as proven to win the Rolex 24, but he's still able to, like, not carry them to victory, but to, you know, that 7 car was up there the entire time with the 6. Really impressive stuff just for Felipe Nasr to, again, 3rd year in a row, close it out, to see the checkered flag. Holding off a charge, too, not just coasting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had to be perfect throughout the closing run of this race. The last hour, the 31 Cadillac just kept closing in. That was Jack Aitken in the car at the end of the race. It was just so really exciting. It was really exciting watching Aitken keep getting closer, get right on the back of him. But then Nasr was just perfect through traffic. I don't know if it was luck or if it was just skill.
A bit of luck. It was a bit of luck.
Maybe a bit of both.
A bit of both, yes, 100.
He was just timing things perfectly in every single... when you get out of the infield section, when you go back onto the NASCAR oval, he would just coast off of that way better than the 31 did every single time, I feel like. And I feel like the only times the 31 was able to get close was through the tri-oval entering one, and maybe a couple times back in the Le Mans chicane. But
yeah,
it made it exciting.
And to note, the Cadillac 31 won the pole initially before they got DQ'd from qualifying for minor infraction. And that's kind of like to talk about, like, Penske, they were, I mean, especially during the night hours, they were just well and just set apart from the rest of the field. They clearly dominated this race. That's why I think that fight at the end, even though it wasn't that much of a fight, it still was. That was a fight that shouldn't have happened. Like, the 31 should not have been that close. The fact that they even got past the 6 on pit stops was impressive alone.
Yeah.
And the 6
faded off on that last run because TV, and I saw some people on social media were saying, oh my gosh, the 6 is going to have the freshest car, like freshest tires and everything at the end there. And they just stalled out. In fact, they got passed by the BMW for that last spot on the podium.
Yeah, they definitely faded, and they kept Kevin Estra in the car for a long time too, near the end of the race. I don't know if that was that might have been a mistake. I don't know if they really should have done that.
Curious what you think of this. Penske, there was a rumor that Joseph Newgarden and Scott McLaughlin were going to be in those cars, but then they decided not to and just did the 3 drivers in each. Previous years they had done 4 drivers.
Yeah. I think last year they had 3, but and that's something new. Like, more teams have been experimenting with 3, especially Porsche Penske, and there's pros and cons.
It still worked here for Penske, but how would you feel about that, or how do you feel about that? Because you're more into the sports cars than I am.
About Joseph,
what do you think?
I mean, as you mentioned, like near the top of the show, Joseph Newgarden, his pace in apparently they tested. In December, Joseph and Scotty were at a test at Daytona.
Yeah,
in the prototypes. And, Joseph's pace in the race he did, it was not that good. Like, he was near the bottom of all of the GTP drivers. That's just how it is. I mean, he doesn't do this full time. And I think that's kind of, again, like, I don't think they were interested in having these guest stars, in this Penske Porsche.
Because the emphasis is on winning rather than being
What did Roger say? What did Roger say at the meeting? That
I want to win this race.
I want to win this race. And, having this celebrity guest star driver, not really going to be the full effort to make that happen. So, and Scott McLaughlin said he understood, and he ended up in a GTD ride, I believe, one of the GT3 cars. So that it worked out. It worked out. And Joseph was on the couch playing with his son and his new daughter. He was
actually in Paris.
Yeah.
He was at a fashion show.
He was slaying. He was serving. Felipe Nasr might be serving in the Le Mans chicane, but Joseph Newgarden was slaying at the Eiffel Tower. So
anyway, not to talk about Joseph so much. He wasn't even in this damn race.
I know, we're talking about Joseph. He wasn't even in the race.
Anything else specifically on Penske Porsche? Because 3 in a row. That's awesome. Only 2 other teams have done that. Ganassi and Schenck. I mean, it's awesome. 2
really, not Schenck. It was Wayne Taylor, I think.
Was it Wayne Taylor? Okay.
Wayne Taylor
I put Schenck in the dock.
Yeah.
You know why I said that? Because Castroneves won 3 in a row. But that was just different teams, though.
One of them was with Schenck, yeah.
That's why.
In one of the
My bad.
Cars, yeah. Apparently, there's been 3 drivers that have won 3 in a row. All of them are Brazilian, by the way. So I find that really interesting.
That is interesting.
But yeah, Penske going with 3 cars, it's just like they get more practice time individually. And I mean, hell, with the fog, if Joseph Newgarden was in that car, he would have been driving during the fog, as our poor man Connor Zilisch was, who I guess we'll talk about. We'll talk about next. Actually,
let's talk about him. Yeah,
let's talk about him next, because there's a lot of disappointed NASCAR fans and just Connor Zilisch fans. I mean, who's not a Connor Zilisch fan, right? Mm-hmm. Most of his time in that 31 car was the 6-hour-long caution flag that happened in the middle of the night because of the fog. A lot of fans were disappointed because Connor did not get back in the car after that caution. He did not drive in the morning at all. To be fair, that's kind of typical of your kind of guest drivers, I guess you'll say, like your 3rd and 4th drivers in your lineups. They don't normally race that much in the morning. but still, like Connor, I didn't look at any lap times or anything, but Connor got the car up to like in the top 3 when he was doing his night stint during the racing.
There was, before the fog came in, it was like at 9 p.m. or so. Maybe it was 8. He had gotten into Scott Dixon, and when NBC interviewed him, he was like, "Oh, I didn't touch him." I thought that was interesting, but it was kind of it's really cool seeing like the driver of tomorrow, Connor Zilisch, was racing against this legend Scott Dixon. Like I know he's done this race before, but it was just like, man, that's so cool. And he's like, I didn't hit him.
Yeah, seeing him in the top class was just really cool, and it was just it's just one of these Connor Zilisch things. He's had a streak of just like, you know, really great things should be happening to him because he deserves it. Like, you know, winning the Xfinity Championship, but he didn't win it. And then he lost his opportunity to test and WEC. And, you know, he does the Rolex 24 for Cadillac Racing and the 31. And it's one of the best teams. But he doesn't really get to drive much because the fog happens. Like, it's just like these crazy things keep kind of happening and dampening the Zilisch spirit.
If Aitken would have gotten around Nasser, the 31 would have won, and NBC said Zilisch would have been the youngest overall winner in history.
God. And I was rooting for the 31 so close. Hard.
I was rooting for the 31 too. And I'm a Penske guy, as everyone knows. I mean, I was hoping the 31 could do it. That would have been a really cool upset. Especially like, man, that's why I think I still really like the race, because it was so we kind of got teased a little bit like, wow, the 31 could actually do this. It's just, you know, I think traffic is the reason the 31 was able to get so close, and it's straightaway speed. Yeah. There was that one moment where it almost looked like Nasser was blocking down into turn 1. Very sketchy situation. I don't really think that was too much foul play. I'm not sure what you think or other people think, but it was just really close. I think Nasser did not really leave that much of a gap open. The 31. Are you talking about when it looked like Nasser blocked?
Yes, because Aitken,
he went under the yellow. With that.
He went under the yellow to try to make that pass. Like, I don't think Nasser was imagining he was going to like actually go for it. And you can go under the yellow apparently in IMSA. Like, that's fine. It's just like the grass is like right there. And I don't think Nasser was expecting him to go for it.
I did see some social media people being like, yeah, that should have been a penalty, or will they give a penalty for that? And they obviously didn't. I thought it was fine personally, but I'm not a sports car expert.
I don't think it was reactive. I think that was just Nasser being like, I can't believe you're actually like trying to fit into this gap right now. But it was also, they were going around an LMP2 car. It was just kind of tight quarters. It was kind of awkward. That's multi-class racing. The 31, if the 31 was fast enough, he would have had more opportunities anyways. Like, that was just racing. You've had 24 hours. It is what it is. To be that close was impressive in and of itself.
Yeah, and I mean, outside of the Penske Porsches, I mean, they were class of the field. The 31 was up there, of course, at the end. But beyond that, it was kind of just everyone else.
It was Penske Porsche. They try to, you know, you've heard of BOP. They try to balance out all the cars. The weird thing with that this year is Porsche, Cadillac, BMW, and I think Acura all have like Evo kits to their cars. So they're like, I don't know how to describe it in like NASCAR terms, but basically it's like the version 2. And it's hard to BOP a version of a car that has never raced, because this is the debut. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you BOP this Porsche model that has never raced? Right. So I think that kind of played into like why that race was so, in the favor of Porsche. But also, like, they just, it's Team Penske. Porsche is one of the best motors. They have the most wins at the Rolex 24 and Le Mans. Like, it's just the best team with some of the best drivers. It's just kind of, they're going to dominate.
Something you wanted to bring up, Zack, is that Wayne Taylor Racing, the 10 car failed. We saw a lot of attrition in this race. I bring up the 10 because it's the GTP, but I mean, that's why I brought up a few minutes ago. Like, there was just no one else was really as good as the Penske cars. But I mean, the Wayne Taylor cars, that's usually another contender. I don't know if the 10 ever led in this race, which is weird for the Rolex 24.
So since they switched to Cadillac last year, Wayne Taylor Racing has really been struggling. Because again, Wayne Taylor Racing are one of the teams that have three wins in a row in this race. When they were with Acura, they were one of the best teams. They were winning like almost every year. But since they switched to Cadillac last year, they just haven't been the same. They're still kind of recovering.
Is Shank with Acura?
So yeah, Meyer Shank Racing is with Acura now. And that's why they came back, because Ganassi left and then Cadillac went to Wayne Taylor, and then Meyer Shank or Acura was like, hey, Meyer Shank, come back. So that's
because Shank and Ganassi have the connection in IndyCar,
right?
And they had all the Ganassi, like Palou.
Yeah, because now the Ganassi drivers race for Acura and Shank now. Yeah, since Ganassi's no longer in IMSA. So that's what happened.
Bet he's going to come back, right? I'm assuming.
Ganassi, I don't know. I don't even know why he left, to be honest. Maybe it was... I don't know. I don't know what else Ganassi's doing. I think he's just trying to scale back. I think he's just trying to chill. He's just trying to chill. Like I think that Alex Palou stuff, McLaren, I think that stressed him out. He's like, I'm just chill.
But beyond the Wayne Taylor Racing car failing, we had other attrition.
Yeah, because GTPs, like besides the Aston Martin, they didn't really have that much attrition. But like, goddamn, the LMP2s couldn't even keep running.
Yeah, the LMP2s were in a lot of incidents. Well, I remember when there were LMP3s, and the LMP3s were the problem child of this race.
Yeah,
but oh my gosh, like it wasn't as bad as the LMP3 era,
right?
That was a lot of LMP2s were causing the cautions.
LMP2s, and there's been like a little bit of a, I don't know if it's a stigma, just like chatter, like is LMP2 really that necessary? Because it's the least interesting class. Like it's all the same like car model, like because there are other LMP2 manufacturers. It's just the Oreca is just the best one, so everyone just gets that. And what the hell is an Oreca? Like no one really cares about the LMP2s necessarily, but it is the cool, like it's the amateur class, the pro amateur class for prototypes, kind of like what the green GTD is. But that's also kind of a bad thing because they wrecked on lap 1. Yeah.
Turn 1. 10 seconds into a 24-hour race, they crashed.
The dentist came. And there is I don't know if it's a new for this year, but there is a rule where the amateur drivers have to qualify and start the race in LMP2. Really? I don't know why that's a rule. Like qualify, sure. Starting the race for the sprint races, it's really impactful because that's like, a big part of the race. But for a 24-hour race, I mean, I don't know. It obviously ended not very good for some of them.
You bring up new rules. I saw you and our friend Avery Hage on Blue Sky were talking about a new rule with the yellows. Can you elaborate on that? Because I did notice that the yellow flags were a little bit better this year. Like, what did they do?
It did not impact. It only impacted the start of the race. If there is a yellow in the first 15 minutes, it will be a quickie yellow. Otherwise, nothing's different, I believe. Okay. They might sort some of the GT classes different, but that might have actually been happening last year.
That turn 1, lap 1 crash 10 seconds in. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to be under yellow the first 30 minutes. Let me go do something. Yeah. And I walked back out to the living room and they're racing already. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
In my opinion, that rule should apply to every single, like if there's a caution right after a restart, in my opinion, it should apply. But it's just for the start of the race. Like for races like Long Beach, that's like 100 minutes if they wreck right at the start. Okay. But yeah, LMP2, back to LMP2, like it's kind of a, people wonder if it's really a necessary class to have. There are some really competitive teams, some star drivers, like, I say star drivers and then like the first name is Nolan Siegel. So I don't know if that really works. Logan Sargent was there too, though. Logan Sargent drove an LMP2.
Logan Sargent was there. So like CrowdStrike Racing won an LMP2. Really pretty livery.
It was really cool.
I really like the colors on that one.
Toby
and the
Sowery,
drivers,
who made
Toby Sowery, you might know from IndyCar. Let's see if I can get these names right. George Kurtz, Alex Quinn, and Malthe Jacobson.
Or is it Matthew? Jacobson? Is it Matthew Jacobson? Matthew Jacobson. I think it's like Matthew, basically. It's just it's just some names in different countries are just.
I'm just American. Sorry.
George Kurtz apparently is like part owner, like he's like CEO of CrowdStrike apparently. Again, LMP2 is for these like rich amateurs to come in and race. but apparently he's like part owner of Mercedes Formula One.
Oh,
like he's got stake in it. So
wow.
He's got some connections there too. So
good for Toby Sowery.
Yeah,
good for him to get a Rolex 24 win.
Yeah,
and
I'm not too familiar with his career, but pretty cool.
You put a note in here about the LMP2s. They were negatively impacted by the fog and moisture.
Yeah, so kind of back to the attrition, there was something really weird going on with the LMP2s. Like they kept just stalling and they couldn't get the cars restarted. And I heard about on either Blue Sky or Twitter. Apparently, you know how like the IMSA cars have those LED boards?
Yeah.
For position. Apparently, the LMP2 starting this year are not required to run them because there's something weird with the electronics in these cars. And I'm just like, in these chassis, they were, this car is like 2017. Like it's pretty old, like almost 10 years old now. And it's just like, girl, like these cars, like, well, again, like these cars just kind of look, I'm not trying to say it's the laughing stock of sports car racing. They still run LMP2s at Le Mans, but I don't know. Part of me is just like, girl, it's just a little embarrassing. But it is, again, it's a very cost-effective like way to run a prototype in a top class or top series sports car race. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Nor am I saying that it should. It's just LMP2 was doing LMP2 things at the Rolex 24.
Well, I'm glad they got rid of LMP3 though.
Yeah, that
was even worse.
That was like 100% just a field filler for when like GTE was on its way out. Or GTLM, as IMSA called it. And then like DPI was kind of dying out. That was just a field filler. But yeah, that was also stupid because that was just way too much traffic.
And then in GTD Pro, Paul Miller Racing won with the winning drivers Neil Verhagen, Connor DeFilippi. I know that name. Max Hesse and Dan Harper.
Yeah. And this was probably the best race, the GTD Pro cars, even though let's talk about Corvette. Because Corvette they were basically the mirror to Porsche Penske. They were dominating GTD Pro.
Yeah.
But then as the sun rose, and I think this is the most interesting part of any 24-hour race, when the sun rose, it's like you're so close but so far. The number 3 Corvette had a suspension failure. And going back to the attrition, there were a lot of wheels falling off a lot of cars.
There was. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that has something to do with the Le Mans chicane. This is the second year it's had the curbing. Thanks, Ryan Preece. Thank you, Ryan Preece. And there was also like some edges of the track that like where they start digging, like they go into the grass a little bit and they start digging like holes almost. But wheels were falling off. That literally happened to the 3. They had a suspension failure, took them out of the race. The 4 Corvette was holding down things pretty good. But then pit strategy shuffled them a little bit on a restart. And then one of the Ferraris shoved them off the track on a restart. And you didn't hear from them again.
Yeah.
Just like that in a 24-hour race. Get shuffled out on a restart and did not have the juice to come back up through the pack. Maybe they did not have the daytime pace, even though they won the pole. But if you're a Corvette fan, I am sorry. Like that was probably I think that's what everyone was hoping would happen to Porsche and Penske.
Right.
Did not happen. Instead, it came down to what BMW, the Sun Energy won with this all-star Australian lineup with Will Power, Chat Mozart, who is one of the best drivers in the supercars, Kenny Habul, Sun Energy One owner, CEO. But the Sun Energy One Mercedes, they were fighting the BMW, or trying to get close to the BMW. Pretty good battle. There was the one pass the Corvette made on like the BMW and the Manti Porsche. That was really cool. But yeah, probably the best racing GTs.
Sun Energy One Mercedes you talked about there, that had Will Power in it and had Supercars driver Chas Moster in it. That was fun. That's pretty cool. It was
fun. It was cool for Will Power to get a podium at least. And I think it's his second attempt at this race. His first was this was his first attempt at this race.
Yeah,
he did like an endurance race before, but it was like 2003 or something, but before he was IndyCar. So
yeah,
and it's pretty cool for Paul Miller Racing to kind of come back to Daytona after their infamous clash with Corvette. So that's kind of ironic that Corvette was supposed to win this race. Yeah, they dominated this race. God, Corvette gets the short end of the stick again, but they downsized to one car this year. Paul Miller Racing, Augustus Farfus nowhere to be seen. probably for the better.
Oh yeah, he was the one that
He was
involved in that. Yeah,
he was the one. But yeah, cool win for BMW. In fact, it was German manufacturers that swept all around because Mercedes, the Windward Racing Mercedes, won the GTD, the green GTD, the vanilla GTD, whatever you want to call it. They're like the best. They're basically like the best GTD team. Like they win the championships. They're solid.
This GTD race was the highlight of the finish of the race, the last 40 minutes. And oh man, this was so fun. Philip Ellis was the driver of the Windward Racing Mercedes who ended up winning and was battling with Nicky Tim. And Ellis was like totally sideways in the tri-oval at start finish. Don't know how he didn't wreck, still manages to be the race leader entering turn 1. I was yelling at my TV, and then I'm like, I love racing, actually. Oh my gosh, my racing love is back. Like it was so fun.
He was a weapon. I'm sorry. He was an absolute weapon.
Pretty dirty. Yeah.
There was one restart, and I think, again, they restart the green GTD cars. That's going to give me a damn seizure. IMSA, please. Anyways, they restart them right behind the GTD Pro cars, and I'm pretty sure on one restart, Ellis like dive bombed the West Horseshoe and like took out, I think it was one of the Ferraris or something. He just, the entire like last few hours of the race, every time I saw Ellis, I'm just like, oh my God, like he was kind of being a weapon. That whole incident on the front stretch was just him side drafting way too aggressively.
I think Nicky Tim could have been a bit more aggressive. I do respect how clean he kept it. He kept it very, very clean with him. But I think he could have been a little more aggressive just because of how Ellis was racing him.
Yeah, there was a moment that was like basically, it was very close to blocking. It was super close. I was not really impressed with Ellis's driving, and I know he's again, this team. This is, I believe, their third win at this race, and I think they have 3 championships, at least 2 championships. I think they're going for their 3rd championship this year, but I just was not impressed by that driving. It was a good show, don't get me wrong, and you know, the GT3 cars show that they are some of the best racing in the world. It's kind of your mix of, you know, your classic road racing, but it's also like NASCAR because you can beat and bang. But yeah, I just wasn't impressed.
The winning drivers there were Philip Ellis, as we've talked about, Russell Ward, Indy Donche, and Lucas Auer.
Yeah.
Good times. Congrats to everyone. I love this race, man. It's such good vibes.
Yeah.
And I say this every year. IMSA is the perfect background noise kind of thing to put on, because on for a whole 24 hours, you have racing on, and you can still get other things done. It makes me feel productive. Like IMSA is my Subway Surfers. Like I love it.
And that's why I'm interested to talk to you about NBC's coverage again, because this has only started for NBC's coverage. I don't think has actually changed that much.
No,
I think my perspective has changed. I don't know about yours, because I've gotten really into sports car racing the last 2 years.
You've gotten very into sports car racing.
I am full into my fixation. It's iRacing's causing most of it, because the best racing on iRacing is the sports car racing. And I don't think NBC is giving me what I want. I don't think if you like sports car racing, I don't know if NBC is presenting the race in a way that, and we talked about this last year. Yeah, I have a bit of a different perspective on it as well, because I was watching a little bit of the world feed. So if you don't live in the United States, for the most part, you can watch every IMSA race on their YouTube channel for free, basically. And they have different commentators. The camera angles are basically all the same. It's still the same camera angles, but they have different pit reporters, different on-air talent. And I kind of compared, because I would switch to both at different times. And then, of course, like at midnight, Peacock just shows the world feed. Like they just show those commentators. Yeah, I think there's only a few areas where I think NBC is like really losing out to the world feed, but they're like really huge areas.
Very badly losing to it.
They're very badly. So first of all, anytime NBC is cutting the cameras away from the track, that's bad. The full screen interviews with people that have nothing to do with the race or loosely related to the race, that's no. especially in the first hour or the last hour of the race, the most intense parts. No.
See, these interviews, I do think have a place in these broadcasts, but doing them in the first hour and the last hour is just no. It's perfect for the Peacock segments that are like 4 hours in, or even like 4 hours to go.
Night. Yeah.
Middle of the night. Yeah. Like bring back Kyle Petty and have him talk shit with someone. I don't care. That'd be funny. But for like an hour to go, 30 minutes to go, and we're talking to AJ Allmendinger, I'm just like, maybe it wasn't that close, but it was pretty close to the end. But I was just like, man, we could be focusing on the race that's building right now, but we're going to talk to AJ Allmendinger about NASCAR, about Greg Biffle, which, like, again, rest in peace. But it's just like, is this really this isn't the time and place to talk about Greg Biffle?
Yes.
It sombers the mood, and we are trying to build up hype for the finish of this race. Like that, there is a time and place for that, and it wasn't right then. And for me too, the questions they were asking AJ were so irrelevant. I would have been asking, because Zach, I make this joke every year, you and I should be on the Peacock pit box, because I think, one, we'd be funny, and two, we could ask some interesting questions that these people don't normally ask. But I would have asked AJ Allmendinger, hey, how would you compare the prestige of the Rolex 24 to the Indianapolis 500 and the Daytona 500? Because you've done all three. Not many people have done all three.
Yeah. And AJ's won this race before, too.
And he damn near won the Indy 500.
Right.
Which is crazy to think about still. But I think that is a perspective I'd be interested in knowing about. But we're talking about how he's having the Daytona 500 in a few weeks. We're not talking about the race. Hey, it's the first time you're back in like 4 years. Anyways. Like, yeah. Ugh. And I didn't like it.
Watching the World Feed also had interviews. Key differences are they didn't have a camera on them at all. They just basically joined the actual commentator studio. It's like they joined the booth basically. And it was, it was a lot. That. Yeah, and it wasn't as distracting because, again, I'm fine. I can compromise with NBC if they're going to do the Peacock pit box and have it in the corner. They did do that most of the time. It's just like during the big NBC segments, they would go full screen away from the race way too much. You need to have the race on screen all times.
NBC is trying to capture this fantasy viewer that does not exist, that is NASCAR fan, and they stumble onto the Rolex 24. And sure, it probably does exist, Zach. That's what you're probably thinking.
We were those fans, to be fair. Like, those fans do exist, but we don't need to baby them.
I am there to watch this race. I'm not there to talk about NASCAR. I get to talk about NASCAR for 30
We already know what NASCAR
year.
is. We already know what NASCAR is. We don't need to hear about NASCAR right now.
Yeah, I want to learn more about IMSA. And to be fair, we get interviews with Jordan and Ricky Taylor and the other personalities in this sport. But it's just like, why are we talking about NASCAR? Why are we bringing up Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott when we're talking about the Sun Energy One car? Because they sponsored them at one point or another. Like, come on. Like, that was such a reach. Like, come on now. It's just, I want to watch the racing because I'm here for the racing. I'm not here specifically just for the people that are in it. I think the coolest thing about the Rolex 24 is that you get all these different personalities and
highlighting that's important.
Their different backgrounds of racing. It's really cool that they all come together for this one race, but you don't talk to them about that enough. They're just talking about what they do outside of this race. It's just like this isn't the time. It's weird.
Yeah. And one more thing on the interviews, like there was a really cool part, kind of like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, where they were interviewing one of Ford Racing's executives. And obviously with my Ford bias, I was really interested in it. And what I noticed that Peacock and NBC don't do is the person they were interviewing was actually like making comments on the race. Like, I think they had access to seeing what was actually going on the race, what TV was seeing. And it was funny because they were watching like the Ford Mustang battle the Corvette, and it's like, oh, sorry, the Corvette just passed the Mustang, and it was kind of funny, right? Because the Ford exec's up there, and it was really cool. And it wasn't like a distracting interview because they're still talking about the race, but then it's like once the battle's over, it's like, okay, so tell me more about Ford racing and their commitment to, you know, all these series and what that means for customers on the road buying Ford cars. Yeah, racing informs our technology and blah blah blah. I'm not trying to do a Ford commercial, but like, it was really cool. Again, maybe it's just my Ford bias, but it was an interview that was interesting, but it wasn't distracting. NBC's interviews are either literally taking you away from the race because of the cameras and they're not doing side by side, or it's because it's Marty Snyder, who has not been commentating the race the past hour, might not know what's going on in the race, and just some guy they just brought up there who, you know, they're not asking him about the race, or they're not giving them access to like a screen for what's going on right now on the track with an hour to go. That's the disconnect. That's what Peacock and NBC aren't getting right, that the world feed's getting right. And the only other thing is the pit reporters too. And I'm not saying the NBC pit reporters are bad. It's just the frequency of, you know, the world feed. The pit reporters are kind of filling us in on stuff that we don't know about, right?
Yeah.
The commentators are telling us what they see and what they notice. The pit reporters are telling us what nobody can see and nobody's able to find out because you have to be in the pits, right?
Yeah.
On NBC and Peacock, I feel like the pit reporters are, granted, some of this is during the night, you know, Dave Burns doing the tires.
They're doing side quests.
The side quest. Thank you. The side quest. The pit reporters going on side quests. And I'm sure that was happening on Radio Le Mans too, or the world feed, but it just, the frequency of important pit crew updates of stuff that we didn't know about was way too low on NBC.
Yeah.
Those are the two things I noticed. The interviews being distracting and taking away from the race, and then the pit reporting taking away from the race. Like, those are the two things that NBC and Peacock are just not getting right for me. And as much as I love Lee Diffie and his great commentary, which, I mean, yesterday he was fine. Like, nothing really interesting happened. It's not worth the NBC broadcast anymore. There's ways to watch the world feed if you live in America. You know, I'll just allude to it. But
by the way, we're usually really high on NBC because, you know, we have Fox with NASCAR, and I think NBC is better than Fox was with IndyCar. But with IMSA, whenever we talk about it, I'm just like, man, this broadcast is not that good, even outside the Rolex 24. And a lot of it also has to do with the fact that they love doing commercials at horrible times with IMSA for some reason.
Yeah, and I
go back to that Watkins Glen race a few years ago, and then in this race they had 2 back-to-back with 15 minutes to go or something like that. It's not watchable. And then Peacock still doesn't have side-by-side for whatever reason.
Those two NBC blocks at the beginning and the end of the race are that honestly, that's 90% of the problem. 90% of the problems are in those two blocks.
The two most important parts of the race, the beginning and the end.
Yeah. And it's because it's on NBC and they need to get commercials. I get that, but damn. Like, when you are not on commercial, you're still wasting time.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, I don't know.
The damn graphic where they were like, this is the U.S. Bank Sports Report. And then I was just like, get off my screen. What do you have to say? And then it's just a regular part of the broadcast, and it's like an interview or something.
It was weird.
And I'm like, that's it? Commercial. It's like, what? It was so annoying.
It was annoying. And honestly, I feel like going into Sebring, I'm not going to watch it on Peacock. I think I'm going to find my ways to watch it on the world feed, because even outside the NBC portions, like at night in the evening, I was still just like, what am I missing right now that NBC's not telling me? That I have to check Twitter, you know? That was getting on my nerves.
Send me the way you are watching it, and I will try it. Maybe I can cancel Peacock for next year.
Yeah.
It renewed just before the Rolex 24. So, and
it's weird because like the Brian Till booth is great. Brian Till, Ollie Gavin, Brian Till. Ollie Gavin, former Corvette driver who just
Ollie Gavin's retired. Really good.
he was really good because, again, he's fresh out of the car. Like, and Brian Till always is just, he's not trying to baby us. If he's explaining something, it's a good time to explain it, you know? Yeah. He was really good. Steve Letarte, sometimes Steve Letarte was connecting stuff to NASCAR too much, or being like, from my perspective, internationally, maybe you think different, but from my perspective, this is blah, blah, blah. That was a little annoying, but at least, I don't know, at least he was having a conversation.
Can I say the other problem with the NBC broadcast is that they have too many of the NASCAR people. They need to hire some more IMSA people. You know?
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
this isn't like a...
Because Marty Snyder, Steve Letarte, yeah, you're right.
Like, Marty Snyder, I'm sure, knows enough. And he did IndyCar too. Like, he knows more than just NASCAR. But
he
knows
like motorsports. Yeah.
Some of those interviews, like, he felt really disconnected from what was going on. And Steve Letarte, you mentioned, I love Steve Letarte. I think he's the best NASCAR analyst by far. But this is IMSA. This is not his comfort zone. I think he only watches this one race. You need to have these experts like an Ollie Gavin, who I think is awesome.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah. Was that his name? Ollie Gavin?
Oliver Gavin, Ollie Gavin. Yeah. But even like Calvin Fish, who's like really good, really smart. That booth, Lee Diffie, Calvin Fish, Townsend Bell, it almost feels fake. Like they're trying to sell me something. Like, wow, look at this exciting IMSA WeatherTech racing. They just feel too excited almost. Like they're trying, because again, they're on big NBC. They're trying to sell us. They're not really they're smart people. They know how to cover races. It's like it's almost the direction that NBC's giving them is just I don't know. Townsend Bell's trying to get his whoa moments. Like
he maybe jump a couple times. He did.
And again, like they're a great booth. They know how to cover a race. They're very smart people. Calvin Fish, like he's an expert. He's been doing this for a long time, but maybe that's also a problem. Maybe it's kind of like NASCAR on Fox, where it's like, man, this guy's been in the booth forever.
Yeah.
It's like Darrell Waltrip vibes. I don't know. I just wasn't very impressed with that commentator block, the Brian Till block, the Ollie Gavin block. That was good. Brian Till always delivers. He is one of the best.
I don't know who it was someone's like, after the break, Brian Till will be taking over. I texted you like, oh my God, Brian Till, we're so back.
I enjoyed him more than Lee Diffie this year.
I did too. Yeah.
Because Lee Diffie is your end of the race guy, but it's just, I don't know. He didn't do it for me this year. So yeah, I think Sebring I'm going to watch on the World Feed because I think when you're like me and you are into sports car racing, NBC's flaws kind of show.
You're not just a casual. Like I have issues with NBC's broadcast too, and I'm way more casual with this still, but I still have issues with it. Like I think I don't need to be sold on this.
If you're the average NASCAR fan that doesn't really follow sports car racing, you just watch like Daytona and Sebring, then you can just watch on Peacock. You're not going to miss anything that you'd care about. Yeah. But if you're a fan of sports car racing, I don't think you can watch on Peacock, and that's a problem. Because this is how I'm supposed to watch this race.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on to the T. A season
where we talk about NASCAR.
A season opening T. And yeah, we're talking about NASCAR now.
Let's be like NBC and talk about NASCAR in an IMSA episode. Oh my gosh. All right, Marty, what are we talking about today?
I'm Steve Letarte, and this is my comfort zone. I'm going to talk about NASCAR now.
Okay, but didn't Marty Snyder seem very... I think Marty Snyder had too much coffee before he got up on...
You did text me this, and I was like, I think... Yeah. He was like so excited.
He was so excited to be up there. Like I was kind of like, damn, chill out, bro. We got 18 hours left. Like, what are you doing? Oh my God.
I do like Marty Snyder, but damn, yeah.
He was so not annoying. Just like I needed a break from him.
He was cheerful.
When he said he was signing off for the night, I took a breath. I was like, oh my God, thank you. I need a break. Sorry, Marty. I love you, but
oh my gosh.
Damn, calm down a little bit.
The T breaking today, the Charlotte Roval is out. We will not be racing on the Charlotte Roval in 2026. This is per the Athletics Jordan Bianchi. The Roval is out and the Charlotte Oval will be back in the chase. And there's only 4 road courses on the whole schedule now.
We had like 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We've almost halved them. This will be announced in the coming weeks, according to Bianchi.
I better see all y'all Twitter MFers at that Charlotte Fall race.
All y'all better be at Chicagoland.
Chicago, y'all better buy your plane
Charlotte.
Tickets. Y'all better buy your plane tickets. I better see y'all there. Because listen, I know this probably should have. I feel like this probably should have already happened. Yeah. I think the problem is they waited too late. Like they just remodeled the road course a few years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a thing where maybe in a few years they'll go back to the Roval. You know, that's something Jordan Bianchi suggested before on the teardown. Maybe they should switch it up a few years. Is the Charlotte Oval going to have better racing? Yes. I don't know if when it's the only road course in the Chase, it's one of the more unique road courses on the NASCAR schedule because, you know, from a fan perspective can see all of the racing, like just like all of the track from like one seat. It just, I'm not like upset, I guess. Like I'm not mad. I think I was being dramatic on Twitter earlier. I'm not mad that it changed. It's just, it doesn't feel right to me. Especially like when you've already been selling tickets to like, you know, it's the Roval. Not that I don't think anyone's going to care. It's probably the right decision, but it's a decision that I kind of wish I wouldn't have made, I guess. Like,
so one of our Patreon members made a comment about this to us, said that they're excited to see the Oval back. This is from Phil. Maybe they could alternate the Roval every couple years to change it up, but moving away from it this year just feels right.
I mean, like, or they could alternate it every like season, or it's like they have one race on the Oval and then one race on the road. Oh wait, they already were doing that. We have the 600 on the Oval, and then we have a road course in the fall. I
think I'm with you because we've talked about this before. The 600 felt so much more special because it was just that one race there every year, and the Roval was its own unique thing. And man,
it's hard because yes, we need more intermediates on the schedule. We need less.
Imagine telling someone that 16 years ago, we need more intermediates, you guys.
I mean, I guess we do. Do we though? What if the road course racing is good this year with the extra horsepower? I don't know. Like I think, did SVG cause this, by the way? Like, I mean, not even just like if SVG wasn't here dominating all the road course races, would it have been more likely that they kept the road, like a road course race?
I think it's more that we don't have elimination races anymore.
That's true.
That they're like, we don't really need this like kind of
dramatic
shock factor race for an elimination.
That's true.
Which, by the way, if you want to listen to hear our reactions to the Chase coming back, we did a whole episode about that a few weeks ago. But yeah, I don't like that we don't have a road course in the Chase.
That's a huge mistake, in my opinion. I think that's why I do not like this year.
First, we're going to have a predictions video on 2026, but I think my first prediction of the year is that Watkins Glen's going to be announced to be in the Chase for 27, because it 100%. Being in May feels like they don't know what the hell to do with it. They wanted to put something on Mother's Day because Kansas had no one showing up.
Yeah, it was weird. What really happened? I forgot. Wasn't there a reason they had to? I think that was just the last block in the schedule they had to put it, I guess. I don't know.
Well, there were other rumors. I forget what they were at this point, but yeah. I think Watkins Glen will go in the Chase in 27. I feel like it's a little silly. Maybe we could have had one more year of the Roval because you already announced it.
That's
and
the
people
thing.
have bought tickets to go to the Roval.
Yeah. I'm not that sold on. Again, the Charlotte Oval is one of our best tracks, but I like the Roval. Yeah. Is it like I'm not making an argument here? It's just more of like I just like it. Okay,
yeah, I like it.
I just like it.
I'm really neutral on this. Like, okay, you're gonna change it, but it's also
it'll be a good race. I hope.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Okay, it's but also, like, I mean, I know the 600's already a night race. But is it a night race? Like, if you want to go full nostalgia, qualify on Thursday night.
Please do Thursday night qualifying.
Paint the walls gold. Like, if you want to nostalgia bait me, we can do that since the Chase is back and everything. Well, what if they do? Look, no, never mind. Anyways,
what if they
paint the walls yellow at Homestead? But I forgot they have a cute color scheme, so never mind.
No.
One more thing, whatever road course they put in the Chase next year, which they better put a road course in the Chase, definitely Watkins Glen probably.
Yeah.
Coda, it'd be too close to like the F1.
Yeah, the F1 race.
Too close.
Something I pitched to you earlier was the Daytona road course is right there. We were just at it for the Rolex 24. We just talked about her in the first half of the episode. Daytona 2 is kind of like a whatever. It's just there because we've done it for a long time now. What if if we're not gonna make it the July 4 weekend that everyone wants, we're gonna go full nostalgia. Why don't we just move that back like a week or two? Run the Daytona road course in the chase. Hell, open it at Daytona road course.
No,
I don't care.
That's stupid. I love Daytona road course. I love Daytona road course. I'm completely. It's
still
fine.
A Roval. You could call it the Roval.
I am completely fine NASCAR not being there. I'm completely fine with NASCAR not being there.
See, because I liked it when they did it.
I think the reason I don't like it is because they have to add that second chicane, and it kind of ruins the track. Because stock car is just the braking zone. You just can't do the normal oval. You'd have to brake before the start and finish line. It's just too much. And that chicane was just kind of stupid. I got my fix. I got my fix with it. I'm good.
Yeah. Man, though, Thursday night qualifying would be a home run. That 2014 cool. Jeff Gordon qualifying clip gets posted on Twitter.
I posted it this morning.
It gets posted on Twitter.
Likes. I got 800 likes.
Are you serious?
Yes, like I'm serious.
See, the people are yearning for Thursday night qualifying at Charlotte. Let's do it.
God.
Come on.
Yeah, I want to see Kyle Larson hold it full throttle around the bottom. It's going to be great. God, these cars suck. Anyways.
The next thing in the T is that the Washington, D.C. IndyCar race rumors are back. This time because
certain sources
people
certain sources have confirmed that they're trying to make it happen.
You may have heard of these people. We're not going to talk about them specifically. They may have posted an AI video that you may have seen that they want this to happen. So this was rumored in like September, August last year, right before the IndyCar schedule for this year came out. And this is the 250th birthday of the United States this year. I get it. I get what the idea is. And IndyCar confirmed that, that they're working on trying to make this happen for this year. They did confirm that.
For this year. Because it's you don't want to wait till next year because it's the 250th birthday.
Yeah.
My question is, how do you plan a street race in 7 months? I mean, I guess maybe they've been working on it since before then, but even there's going to be no way that they can pull it off and it not be a disaster. Conceptually, I think I said this when we talked about it before. Conceptually, IndyCar having a Grand Prix at the nation's capital sounds awesome.
Yeah.
However,
but the optics are bad.
The optics. I'm sure. I don't know how to say this. There's no actual. I was trying to think of an analogy to the 1940s, but I don't know if there was anything happening much in motorsports around then. With in Germany, but it's just you know what I mean though. It's just do we really want to put ourselves in that spotlight when IndyCar already has been kind of caught in the crossfire? Because I think certain government agencies were doing AI versions of IndyCars for their own propaganda. Mm-hmm. I don't know if IndyCar needs to even touch that with a 10-foot pole. Yeah. Or any racing series for that matter. NASCAR too. I think NASCAR going to San Diego, literally on the other side of the country, is actually probably the best thing for them.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of calls for more East Coast races for IndyCar. This would be on the East Coast.
It would be the closest one to me. I'm certainly not going to it. I don't drive in DC. Maybe I'll take a train.
Richmond is right there, an hour-ish away.
No, they can't have no street race in Richmond. No.
No, not a street race, the Oval.
Oh, sorry, I'm an idiot. Sorry.
What do you...
I thought I was still thinking big city street race. They would do that. They try. Look at what they do in Nashville. They would...
Texas. Look at Texas.
Oh, my God.
Arlington street race when Texas is right there. I don't know. if this were to happen this year, if you want to have David Land be a reliable source, you do you. This is what he said. David Land said that he heard that if this were to happen, one of the Milwaukee doubleheader races would be cut in favor of this. So that adds in more optics, I think, for the actual diehard race fans. You lose an oval
because you're losing
if this were to happen.
At least it's a doubleheader oval. Because again, I'm over doubleheaders, so I wouldn't be sad. But it is technically losing an oval race for another street course. So
yeah,
that's a little rough.
It would be interesting if this were to happen. How would Fox handle it? Because Fox has their whole TV schedule slated for the year. They have the World Cup in the summer when this would allegedly be. So
is the World Cup in August, though? I think the World Cup would be over by then.
Would it? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But it's just like they're going to have to shuffle some things around because they already have something planned.
World Cup's July, June. Okay. So but World Cup will be over.
Still, though, Fox might have something on TV on a day that IndyCar wants to do this. But Fox does own a portion of the series, so maybe they're all on board no matter what.
It might. Well, I guess it wouldn't be Milwaukee weekend since they'll still be there. So actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Fox will figure it out, especially if it's, the marketing of, the Washington, D.C., the D.C. Grand Prix, D.C. GP. That would be cool, but I don't know.
Conceptually, it's cool. But in practice, I don't know how cool this would actually be.
In context, concept is cool. Context is not.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I get the timing for the 250th birthday is great, but unfortunately, some people made some dumb decisions on Election Day a few years ago. And anyways, that's all I'm going to say.
Now, leaving the tee, we actually have a Patreon comment that I probably should have mentioned earlier, but I think this is cool to mention now. Patreon member MJ Paxton said this was their first year watching the Rolex 24 after listening to us talk about IMSA last summer and fall, and they had so much fun. Drivers I like from other series were spread out across classes and teams, so it was a bit like a high school track meet where I was just cheering for everyone.
Yeah, I think... Oh God, getting to watch IMSA for the first time is so cool because everything's so new and yet familiar at the same time. It's like, I know this track, I know these drivers, but these cars are weird. And it's like, why are there 4 different classes? Like, it's sports car racing is one of my favorite things to explain to people, even though it's really hard to explain to people. Yeah. Like I was trying to explain like I mentioned this to a coworker, the Daytona 24, and I tried to explain like how sports car racing is different than NASCAR. And it's really hard to explain. But it's like, what makes it different than NASCAR? And it's like, well, I don't know how to explain that to somebody that does not watch racing.
Yeah, it's a convoluted question.
Like I try to explain that prototypes are like race cars, and then GT cars are like, they're kind of like production cars, but they're just made to be race cars.
Yeah.
And they race at the same time. It's really cool.
See, I watch racing and Zach will talk about this stuff to me too. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm glad you're having fun. Like, because you are very, very into it. Yeah.
And it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to educate yourself.
I've loved learning about it though, from you talking about it. Like, I've learned a lot about these cars.
I like teaching. Months. I like teaching it about, I like teaching you about it. Like, it's just cool because it makes you appreciate it more too. Like,
for sure.
When you're seeing the Porsches and the Corvettes and the BMWs all fight together and they have completely different engines and philosophies on how they built their cars. Like, it's just like, it's the coolest form of motorsport. And there's a reason it's in its golden era right now. Yeah. Honestly. So anyways.
Well, with that, I think we're pretty much done. We're going to do our fantasy picks for the Clash of Bowman Gray Stadium, if that race happens, because there's another snowstorm potentially happening next weekend.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to go to it. Not even joking.
Are you actually going to go?
Like, so I have a friend that lives in North Carolina, and I've been to so many Richmond races with her, and I'm going to go visit her. It's going to be fun. Well, it was going to be fun. I don't know if it's still happening. Like, I'm already snowed in as we speak. Like, there is, my street's not plowed. Like, it's kind of keys. I don't know if I'll be able to make it to North Carolina this weekend, nor do I don't even know if I'll be missing a race, because honestly, I don't know. And we said this when they announced Bowman Gray Clash. It's like, that's cool and all, but it's February. It's the East. It's cold. It snows. We said it could snow. It damn did snow, and it damn will snow.
Yep.
I have a rear-wheel drive car. I certainly am not going anywhere. And that sucks. I do want to see my friend.
Yeah.
And that's mostly, she invited me, and it's NASCAR. The Bowman Gray race was kind of cool last year to watch on TV. Seeing it in person would be kind of cool. Getting the energy from the crowd. I hope it happens. I hope I can be there, but things are looking a little frosty, so I'm not really sure.
It'll be really funny if it doesn't happen or you can't go. Because just a few years ago, I went to the LA Clash and it couldn't happen. I wasn't able to go when they rescheduled it for that same night. I was at Disneyland and I couldn't go, which
I wonder if
I'm not upset about.
I don't know what the forecast looks like. I think it's going to snow on Saturday.
I think it's Saturday. That's what I read.
Unless they try to squeeze it in on like Friday night. If they can somehow get the snow
yeah,
but then they got to go home in that, you know what I mean? Like they got to get the haulers home on Saturday, or I guess that would be Friday night. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. They might have to get twisty with the schedule. Fantasy picks. I don't know.
Yeah. So
who's a NASCAR driver right now?
I'm the reigning champion. I'm the reigning champion of our fantasy game, but no points are on the line for the Clash. So Zach, you can pick first, just for funsies.
I know, but like, do I go serious here? Do I? I want to pick Ryan Blaney.
Okay. Ryan Blaney.
I don't know why.
The mustache? Is it just appealing to you?
Low-key. Is it the year of Ryan Blaney, low-key? I mean,
I'm down. I'm
down too. I'm down with it. Even though it's kind of ugly. I don't like the mustache. I thought about picking Corey LaJoy because he's in the 6 car, isn't he?
Yeah.
That would have been funny. Like a meme pick. There's no Harrison Burton to pick.
So my pick is Chase Elliott because he was pretty good in this race a year ago. And
he won the race a year ago.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm going with Chase.
We just picked the top 2 from last year. So I mean, they are really good. I mean, if you think about short tracks like Martinsville, like you could pick Byron too, I guess, right? I don't know. I don't think we're going to learn too much.
No,
because 1, the race might not happen. And then 2, it's just it's kind of like Martinsville, but is it really? I'd be interested.
It's a silly, goopy race. I don't think we need the Clash. I'm over it.
I think they should put them in spec Miatas and just like let them roost, or street stocks. Like, give them a budget. You have like $1,000 to buy a street stock, and you have 24 hours to get it ready for a race. Or however much money.
I'd be calling up Cole Pern for that. Cole, please come back for this one event.
That's the thing. Like the Clash again. At least it's Bowman Gray, and these teams don't have to like travel across the country to like put on an event. Yeah. But like at Daytona, it just served better to be this kind of, support race for speed weeks, right?
Yeah.
It was one of the main things. It was the night before qualifying. It was cool, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And it certainly wasn't going to snow. So in Daytona, it might be foggy, but it wasn't going to snow. So I don't know. Weird weather to start the 2026 racing season. Fog and now snow. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have dust storms at Vegas. I bet again. That happened one year. We had
that happened one year.
It was really windy. I think there was like dust storms or something.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll wrap up the episode. If you're new here and you watched our heated rivalry discussion, thanks for sticking around. If you have no idea what we're talking about, thanks for watching anyway. Or if you're a race fan and found us through that, hi, thanks for joining.
I would tell you to get into racing, but I'm not sure if I can make a good bargain, make a good sell for it.
if you haven't watched that, because for our audio people, it's only on YouTube. We did a heated rivalry discussion with our friends Davin at Drive Thru and our friend Caleb, both from the Shrimp Hours podcast. That was so fun, and that's our most watched video on YouTube. So it was fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
If you do like heated rivalry and you're new to racing, look up Lando Norris. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just look at what Twitter's saying. Not what I'm saying, but what Twitter's saying about Lando.
What Twitter says about Lando.
I didn't say anything. I just think it's funny. Sorry.
And also keep an eye out for our 2026 NASCAR predictions video. That's going to go up sometime before the Daytona 500.
We have a really cool person joining us.
I am very excited for that. And once we're done recording and upload this, I'm going to ask you when you want to do that. So that's going to be...
God, I make a commitment.
I know.
Ever.
So that's going to be fun. Like and subscribe on YouTube to see that and other future episodes. Leave 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and follow us on all the socials at Gay Racing Pod, at New Gaden, and at Dreamy Zack Racing.
And we will see you guys next time for our NASCAR predictions video. And if you'll excuse me, I have to do actual work now. I'm so sad. Alex is putting me to work. Bye, y'all.